MiHoYo, the company behind Genshin Impact, seems to be coming for Roblox's crown. And by that, I mean they are creating their own user-generated content system. It's called DESTROY Wonderland. It's going to be releasing with one of the future updates that is essentially kind of doing the same thing that Roblox does, where they allow users to create their own assets and allow users to create their own mini games for other players to play, which is a very, I think, a very fun concept. It's a very fun thing to throw into games. The fact that the creators are like, hey, we created this game, but we also have all these tools for you to create your own games within our world that you guys can play. I think that's a fun thing. I also think it's a very economically smart thing because now they don't have to put as much effort into developing their own content because they can just shovel it off to the players that might be more creative than they are to begin with and allow them to create and spend all their man hours creating all these unique things that are different ways to play the game, different ways to engage with the content without them having to invest any money in it, and also with them profiting off of it, which is, it's a good business model, and I think it's kind of a win-win for everyone in a lot of ways, depending on what the revenue split is. And I'm getting at that because with Roblox, I looked it up at one point. I looked up what the revenue split with Roblox was, and I just re-looked it up again, and apparently at the end of the day, a creator on Roblox can expect to get 28% of the revenue that is spent, of the money that is spent on one of their experiences in Roblox. So say you have a game in Roblox that someone spends $10 worth of Robux on, you're getting $2.80 of that, and Roblox is taking the rest of it. And while I don't necessarily disagree with the concept of a decent revenue split between the creator and the platform because of the fact that the platform is handling the hosting, the platform is handling the payment processing, the platform is handling the fact that they gave you all the tools. It's basically, in a lot of cases, a $0 investment to create an experience on there. I think a 72 to 28% revenue split from the platform to the creator is excessive, and it's definitely taking advantage of the user base to basically make free content for them. That's very excessive. Unfortunately, Hoyoverse or MiHoYo has not shared yet what the revenue split is going to be for creators that create games for this DESTROY Wonderland thing. But hopefully it's a decent one. I think it's a really cool concept. I like the idea. I used to do a lot of stuff like that on previous games. Now, the article that I'm looking at is, I think, very ignorantly in a way, and I don't mean ignorant in the disrespectful, whatever kind of way, but in the just uninformed kind of way. Whoever wrote this article must be very, very young or not aware, because they're trying to claim that this is just a blatant ripoff. The exact word here, it's called DESTROY Wonderland. It's such a blatant copy of Roblox that it's funny to listen to people explain it without making the obvious comparison. Warcraft and StarCraft came out decades ago, came out long before Roblox came out, and they had map editors in there too. And those map editors were fairly robust. I mean, they weren't infinitely robust. They were still limited, but they were fairly robust, and they came out long before Roblox and operated under the same premise of Blizzard provided a game. That game was StarCraft, that game was Warcraft. You could play that game on multiplayer, but you're basically stuck with that game and that general gameplay cycle. But then they had their map editor where people can play mini games, and out of those mini games spawned a lot of really cool things, like the concept of a MOBA. MOBAs came from, I don't remember if it started in StarCraft or Warcraft. I'm pretty sure it started in Warcraft with Dota. I don't know if the original StarCraft had a MOBA in it, but Warcraft had Dota. Dota, Defense of the Ancients, started with Warcraft and then became its own independent game after the fact. So Roblox was not the creator of this concept of user-generated content. So calling it a blatant copy of Roblox is either just for the clicks or because this guy doesn't know what he's talking about and doesn't know the history of gaming and the history of user-generated content in gaming. Either way, it's a really cool concept. It's something that I like to see in games because I might really like a game or the art style of a game or the dynamic of a game, but I want to see something unique and something creative. And one, the game developers have a deadline. The game developers have a schedule and a roadmap of what they're adding next, so they can't really divert as much as they may like to or they may want to, and the game has to stay basically within the genre that it is. So by allowing these assets to be used by the users, by the players of the game to create their own content, makes the gameplay experience better and ultimately makes the purchase better. Now, Genshin Impact is a free game, but like Warcraft wasn't, StarCraft wasn't, you had to pay for the game. But it expands what you get out of the purchase of the game and expands on the way you can interact with the game and what you get out of the game. It makes the game better. It's the same thing as games providing modding support. I don't get why games don't provide modding support. A game that I love, Bronzebeard's Tavern, has no modding support, and I feel like it would be 1,000 times better if it had it, because a lot of games like Minecraft and Fallout actively rely on modding support because they are providing the base game and then they are allowing the user base to expand upon it and make it better. So you might spend, how much money did I spend on Fallout 4 when it came out? $60, whatever it was? 70? Well, I pre-ordered it and spent a lot of money, so whatever. I spent like $200 on release day because the GameStop salesman convinced me to FOMO. I don't know if I use those words right. You spend $60 or now it's like $70, $80 on a game, but then because of user-generated content, you get so much life out of that game. So I really like seeing this route. I like seeing games go down this route. And while I will say that it is not a Roblox copy, because to say it's a Roblox copy, or what they're doing is copying Roblox, is to deny the history of gaming and the history of user-generated content in gaming, and the history of organic user-generated content in gaming, like with the map editors in Warcraft and StarCraft, and probably 1,000 other games out there that had something similar. I know Time Splitters had a map editor, but it didn't have quite the robustness of the Warcraft and the StarCraft map editors. So it's to deny the history of that, but I do think that this might be in response to some of the stuff that's going on in the news with Roblox right now. I think this might be them trying to get into, okay, a lot of people might be stepping away from Roblox here soon. Roblox might be getting in a lot of trouble here soon. They're getting a lot of bad press. I just saw a Chris Hansen video on YouTube that posted a few days ago about it because he's teaming up with, what's that guy's name? I don't remember that guy's name. Des? What's the guy's name that's going against Roblox right now because he got in so much trouble? Or because he got banned? The comments probably know who I'm talking about. I cannot place his name right now. I feel bad. I feel like this might be a little bit of them capitalizing on that. I mean, I also love the fact that they just recently, went after Nintendo's throne a little bit by creating their Petite Planet game that is just another farming sim, and then Pal World or Pocket Pair came out with Pal World Farming Sim. What is it? Pal Farm. So I think this might be a case of maybe they are trying to go after that. Although something like this had to have been in the works for a while, so I don't think it is directly related to that. I gotta imagine creating an elaborate, user-generated content system in your game within your game engine probably takes more time than this drama did, but it's very conveniently released or being announced around the same time. So it might be bringing in some of those Roblox players that are either leaving Roblox because they're growing out of it, or leaving Roblox because they're not happy with what is going on with Roblox, or it might just be going after the people that are leaving Roblox because their parents tell them they're not allowed to be on Roblox anymore because their parents don't want them getting kidnapped, which is a perfectly valid reason to tell your kid to not get on a game that is actively allowing child predators. Either way, it's a new entry into this market of user-generated content, and I for one am happy to see it, but I am hoping that they release the percentage split and that it's a more fair percentage split than what Roblox is offering, because Roblox is offering basically nothing. They are offering such a small percentage for some of the effort that has to be put into some of these games, because some of them are fairly elaborate, some of them are updated frequently, or they've created their own art for them, or this or that. Either way, they're offering such a pittance of revenue share for it that it's downright criminal. It's insane. So I'm hoping that MiHoYo releases the actual revenue split that they're going to be offering creators, and that it's more fair, maybe closer to 50-50. I'd even do 60-40, but 72-28 is a ridiculous number. They are profiting so much more off of the work that other people are doing for them that it bad. That's all I gotta say on that. But with that, please, if you reached it this far, please like, subscribe, hype the video, comment. Every bit of engagement helps the video do better. If you are interested in helping me in my fight against patent trolling, please, if you can, share the video that's going to be linked over there somewhere. And if you can, donate to my GoFundMe. This is going to be a very time-intensive process. It's going to be a very manpower-intensive process. And it's going to be an expensive process. And I need to build a team around me, and I need to pay that team around me. So anything you can donate would be incredibly helpful. Thank you so much for that. And if you want to hear about the time that I got pepper sprayed, click on the video over. That is my storytelling channel. But with that, bye. Fuck Nintendo.